Hey, welcome everybody. This is Mark Sherry. I'm the executive director of the New Music Alliance. And as you may know, the New Music Alliance his mission is to help musicians who write original music from the Western New England area in as many ways as we can to advance their careers. And today we have a webinar which hopefully will be very helpful to you. And it's sort of a follow-up on our last webinar that we had a couple of weeks ago, which was how to live stream your music and get the best sound and video possible. And possibly some of you, I'm sure, had seen that one and hopefully got some good pointers from it and hopefully been using it. Today, we have a great follow-up to that that's going to be presented by Kara Kharmah, who is the founder and coach of PRIA, and she is a music marketing expert and band branding expert as well. And she's going to be lending her expertise to you today, and we'll hopefully all come away with lots of great insights. So they're going to be, there'll be time for questions. They will be handled at the end. So you have two options as you are using your Zoom. You can either put it in the Q&A or you can ask a question in the chat. It's going to be easier for us to see it in the Q&A, and because the chat will probably have other comments as well. So in any case, I'm sure we'll get to it. We may not get to all the questions, but we will try. And so one of the things that I think it would be good for you to do is grab a pen and paper so you can jot some notes down. And basically, our presentation today, as you know, is free. The New Music Alliance is sponsoring it, as well as PRIA. And if you would like to donate some tips, you can certainly do that. We'd appreciate it. You can send it to our PayPal. If you go to paypal.com and then go to newmusicalliance@gmail.com, which is our email address, you'll be able to send in whatever you feel like you can afford. And in any case, without further ado, I will introduce our presenter tonight, Kara Kharmah. Kara?
I'm
There you are.
You stopped my video. I can't get on. Oh, there we go. Hey, Mark.
Hey.
Thank you so much. And yeah, definitely grab a pen and paper. We're going to do some exercises, quick exercises during the webinar. So yeah, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming today. I'm really excited to, just this a little bit, to be here with you. So let's get started. All right. All right, so hello, and thank you so much for joining today. Welcome to the 7 keys to a live streaming strategy that will grow your fan base. Like I said, to start off, I encourage you to grab a pen and paper, something to write with, even if it's a Google Doc if you're on your computer. And also pin this portion of the video so that you can see the whole thing instead of seeing the two people. Like Mark said, there's going to be question and answer at the end. I'm really excited to be able to interact with you and see if you have any specific questions. So definitely put those in the chat. So my name is Kara Kharmah. I am founder and coach at PRIA. A little background, my coaching focuses mostly on music marketing, band branding, and fan development. I'm also an artist manager for the band Cousin Earth. And before focusing on coaching and starting PRIA, I was a publicist, venue programmer, and marketing manager at Simon Says Booking. I've put my contact information here for you. If you'd like to follow up on this presentation, please feel free to. And obviously there's my website and socials where you can follow me and get more information. COVID has fundamentally changed the independent live music industry. We know this. In one survey, up to 90% of independent venues could close if the shutdown lasts another 6 months, excuse me. Couple the inevitable competition for booking resulting from imminent venue shutdowns and probable lowered capacity regulations at venues. And the question is, how do you grow despite these challenges? The answer is you need to pivot to digital. And live streaming is simply the golden goose of digital. So why is live streaming the golden goose? Some interesting stats. Longer watch time. Live videos are watched 3 times longer than pre-recorded videos. Higher engagement. Facebook Live, for example, gets 6 times as much engagement as a regular video. Of course, this in turn leads to higher reach because of the Facebook algorithms rewarding you for engagement. So in fact, people are 4 times as likely to view a live video than a recorded video just posted on Facebook. Authentic interaction. Almost 80% of people polled in one survey cited authentic interaction as one of the key determinants, key reasons that they watch live streams. And finally, repeat purchases. In one study, 67% of audiences who watched a live stream purchased a ticket to a similar event the next time it occurred. That is powerful. In this webinar, I'm going to lay out a roadmap for success with live streaming. During this presentation, I'm going to walk you through these 7 essential concepts you need to think about when putting together your live streaming plan. These are the same strategies and tactics I use with my coaching clients that have been working to grow their fan bases and their sales. Key number 1 is to manifest your goals and your creative vision. Goals and vision are absolutely integral to the success of your live streams because without direction, how are you going to measure success? I'm going to start with vision. Your vision drives everything you do. Vision is the overarching picture. It's where you want to go. It's what you want to do with it. It's what you hope will come to pass. It includes what you want to do both creatively and in business. It's also the how you want to do things. Essentially, it's your purpose. So commit to your vision and write it down. The act of writing it down internalizes it for you. It also means you have something to refer to later to keep you on track. So to write up your vision, I invite you to ask yourself these questions. What do you want your music to do for you personally? What do you want it to do for the fans or the viewers? And what do you want it to do for the community and the world? I'm going to give you roughly 30 seconds now to jot down some notes and think about this. Use the answers that you've written down and definitely feel free to expound upon them later to write a vision statement that feels true to you. While your vision is how you imagine the future, your goals are the specific targets that move you towards your vision. They make your vision a reality. They describe your desired outcomes. So what are your goals for live streaming? Maybe they're to make money or to replace your lost income, or maybe to grow your fan base, connect with fans, all the above. Again, we want to write it down and you will definitely want to refer to these later. When writing your goals, be sure to make them SMART, and that stands for specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-bound. For example, a goal could be to get a certain average number of viewers per stream by January. or maybe to get a certain amount of total tips in the next 6 months. Whatever your specific goal might be for your streams, make sure they help you support your bigger picture vision as well. I'm going to give you a few moments to write down some thoughts. Where do you want your live streams to take you? If you want your live streams to connect with your fans, you need to understand them first. That is why key number 2 is to target your tribe and develop super fans. So take a moment. I want you to close your eyes. Envision your fan base. Who are your biggest fans? Think of the ones who make you feel like what you're doing has meaning. This is your target audience. And ask yourself questions about these people. What are they like? What are their characteristics in common? Motivations, interests, what's their personality? Why are they listening to your music? Why are they going to your shows? And obviously, most importantly, why are they watching you online? Take a moment now to describe your biggest fans. Just jot down some notes. Maybe just name them and think about what they're like and how you might describe them. Describing your tribe also means understanding where they are along what I like to call the road to superfandom. The point of this graphic is to illustrate the different stages of a fan life cycle, from awareness to admiration to fandom and ultimately super fandom. Your live stream viewers will probably be at all different stages, so your task is to tailor your message accordingly. For example, awareness is the first exposure. The goal with these viewers is to generate interest. Live streaming is perfect at this stage. Well, perfect for this stage. Admiration is the first active like. At this stage, you want messages around how to connect with you. Your mailing list, your socials, your website, where to stream your music, all of that. At the fandom stage, they have shown a sustained admiration for you and your music. So at this stage, the goal is to foster engagement, like live comments, and also to make that first sale, like a tip or a ticket purchase. Super fans are your repeat buyers. They're also your brand ambassadors. Ask them to spread your message. The takeaway is that you want to incorporate this understanding of your fans to make live streams that resonate with the right audience at the right time. There was already so much noise in the live streaming world, even before everyone started doing it with COVID and social distancing. And the noise has really reached a fever pitch. So in terms of competition for eyes for live music streams, it's really high. That's why key number 3, cultivate your brand experience, is so important. So what is a brand experience? Now, we know that people don't actually really pay for music very much anymore, like they used to anyway, but what do they actually pay for? Well, they might not be buying a ton of music downloads. People will pay for access to the experience of your music, for the experience of your brand. And this is Bella's Bar Talk here, if you're familiar. And they're a great example of a brand experience. When you go to a Bella's show, you know what to expect. Sweaty dancing, glitter, and monsters. All right, maybe that might not be all of it, but you have certain brand connotations. Their fans not only go to their shows because of the music, they go because of the way the whole experience makes them feel. And it's that experience that you want to hone. Pre-COVID, a lot of creating your brand experience was accomplished during live shows. but now you've got it. Live streaming. Live streaming is one of the best ways to convey the experience of your music digitally, and you can do it at scale. That is to say, you can reach even more people with the same effort. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to be able to recreate the experience of you live with an online stream. Absolutely not. But what I am saying is that you can take the essential elements of that brand experience and translate it in different ways in your streams. And I'm going to talk about this more in a minute. You already have a brand, whether or not you know it. But what you need to do is define it for yourself before you'll ever be able to clearly communicate it with your viewers. A brand is like a flavor. I like to say it's your special sauce. It's this intangible combination of tastes and flavors that make you you. So what goes into a brand? Some questions to ask yourself include, what do you stand for? What emotions or feelings do you want your brand to evoke? What feel, voice, and personality does your brand have? And what makes you unique, different, special, the best? What is that special combination of tastes that differentiate you from the rest? Again, I'm going to give you a few moments to write down a few thoughts. After you've worked on articulating your brand experience, the next step is key number 4. Craft a concept to leverage your brand story. And when I say concept, I mean going beyond sitting with a guitar on the couch. Make your streams your own. Make them events in and of themselves. Something especially you. Produce them like you would a music video. You can use tools like OBS to get creative. By the way, the last New Music Alliance webinar covered using OBS, Open Broadcasting Software, to produce live streams, and I think there's going to be some follow-up with that video, so keep an eye out for that. A great example of a concept is the band Goose. They are doing a live streaming series where they're playing bingo with their live sets, and then you get prizes like downloads and merch and that kind of thing. And it's just a great way to engage their fans and sets their streams apart from the run-of-the-mill. Your brand story is the narrative arc that ties all of your live streams together, really all of your marketing together. It's the common thread that tells the why behind the music and creates an emotional connection between you and your fans. This is one of my clients. This is This Way to the Egress. Their brand story has to do with being a power duo of misfit creators making music for their tribe of weirdos. Their messaging is all about acceptance and consciousness. So how do they show it in their streams? Egress has been doing live streams weekly since the beginning of COVID. They have a simple concept with fan engagement, banter between the couple you see in the front there. They discuss current issues and play their music live and take requests. But they bring out their band through the little details, like quirky fake commercials and movies between the songs and between their banter, and their old-timey decor behind them. Live streaming has not only been an opportunity to showcase their personal side, but it was also a chance to let them be vulnerable as their fans come to learn more about them as people and the story behind the music and behind the brand. Not incidentally, since starting to live stream, their engagement on their socials has more than doubled, and their income has increased significantly as well. They, with many new patrons on their Patreon. My point is that it was by understanding their fans and their brand that they were able to craft a live streaming concept that engaged fans with that brand story, and that had a direct impact on their bottom line. All right, so you know you need to live stream, and you know you need to connect with fans where they are along that road to superfandom. And you know you want to use your brand story to connect fans to you and your music. So how are you going to do that practically? SIP is a little acronym I came up with to help you remember the 3 things you need to consider when designing your live streaming concept: strengths, interests, personality. Strengths. Are you good at learning new tech? Comfortable talking to a camera? Don't work against yourself. Go with what you're good at and design a live streaming concept that uses your strengths. Interests. Live streams are a great way to give an intimate view into your band brand. Fans relate to you through common interests. I'm going to use Bella's as an example again, because they have a thing for cats. And when I created their Facebook group, I had no idea that the fans would take the cat theme and run with it. Now they have fans engaging all day with memes and exchanging cat pictures and Bella's pictures, obviously. And they're connecting with each other and to the band and building community. And this is all started with a little common love of cats. That's not to say cats are the emblem of their brand. Not at all. I don't want to give you that idea whatsoever. But they are a piece of the brand story. And by highlighting their interests, they really deepened their investment, the audience's investment in them. Personality. You want your personality to shine through in all of your streams. Even if you're introverted, that's okay. That can come through. Be yourself and play up the parts of you that make you you. A great example of personality is what Cousin Earth did recently with their Baking Cat Food and Chill single release party live stream. The band has a fun, wacky brand personality, and the stream reflected this in things like silly cat images, again, cats, Mario sound effects, funny banter, obviously, they're pretty funny guys and girl, and a talk show-like concept. So what I want you to do is take a moment to brainstorm, or at least write this down, strengths, interests, and personality, and see what kind of picture emerges. Get creative and make it authentic. I'll give you a moment to write down some thoughts. So you've got a great live streaming concept that number one, works towards your goals, and number two, connects fans to your brand story. That leads us to key number 5, amplify your streams. To boost the impact of your live streams, pick technology that maximizes your reach and reception. Now, what do I mean by that? Which distribution channel or platform you decide to use, or multiple ones that you decide to use when you stream, will make a huge impact on who you reach. Now, first off, I want to address the personal versus artist page debate, especially in regards to Facebook. You should definitely be streaming on your artist page, even if for now it's just one member of the band, for example. But using this page helps the algorithm all around and will boost your engagement and reach long term. So make sure to take advantage of that benefit. When picking a streaming platform, some things to consider. Number 1, your tribe. Go back to when you described your fan base. Where are they currently following you? What platforms do they use generally? Where do they congregate? And how do they engage with technology? The answers to these questions will go a long way towards helping you decide where to stream. Another important thing to consider is your monetization strategy. How are you going to make money? Different platforms have different features for earning, and I'll talk about this a little later. Reach. Different platforms have different size of their reach, but sometimes a smaller, more targeted reach can be more effective. It depends. Quality of the experience of your stream. The importance of audio and video quality will vary depending on your goals, but that's something to consider. Some examples. Twitch has a great reach, 15 million active daily users, and quality streams, but it's a fairly targeted audience, although that's changing and there's more and more music streaming. But it's made for streaming, and that's the intention of the people when they go there, is to watch streams. Contrast that with the 1.7 billion daily active users on Facebook, which obviously has the widest reach, but is weaker when ranking the quality of the streams and the ease of monetizing them. Platforms like Vimeo and here, Zoom, require some investment, but are also more directly monetizable with features like direct ticket sales. Essentially, the idea is to go with where your audience is. Your distribution plan should be anchored in your fans' behavior. Engagement is the fulcrum of marketing success. What does that mean? It means that your marketing success hinges on how you engage people with your music and your brand. That's why amplifying your streams also includes making an engagement marketing plan. Engagement marketing focuses on making it so that each and every one of your promotions engages your audience with your brand in some way. That means it creates opportunities for people to interact with you at every touch point. The first thing to do towards making an engagement plan is pretty simple. Promote your streams. You can use many of the same vehicles for promotion you use for live shows. Facebook events, Facebook groups, and other group and forum sites, listings like bands in town and Fanbase, sending out your email newsletters, all of the usual suspects. Second, make your ads work for you. Use social ads to increase your reach and boost engagement. I recommend doing mini boosts, as little as $5 at a time, of each of your events and streams, targeting your existing fan base. Even a small increase in reach with your fan base will lead to higher engagement numbers, ultimately maximizing how hard the algorithms work for you. To take this strategy to the next level, be smart about where and how you build your digital fan base. Target your ads to fans in the geographic area where you hope to tour in the future, hopefully someday. For example, it will happen again. Get personal. Invite people to the event, tag people in posts, and individually message them about the show and ask them to share it. Most importantly, enlist your super fans to help you spread the word. This is a great time. This is a great time. Sorry, I just spilled water almost on my computer. That's awesome. All right, yes, ask your super fans to share it. This is a great time to lean on them to help generate word of mouth. Make sure to make them feel special and like an important part of the team. Don't worry, the computer's fine. Barely. All right, finally, leverage your content. Make the most out of every piece of content you make, especially your live streams. First of all, if you're gonna do it for a while. The longer you stream, the more engagement. Second, record, repackage, and republish your live streams in different formats and with different media on different platforms. Get the word out by making your content feel fresh. For example, you could stream on Facebook and record the video, edit the video for YouTube Premiere, and then use little promo snippets out of it for Instagram. With live streaming, you're taking your fans on a brand journey, and that has value. Turn that value into dollars when you turn viewers into supporters. Before you start asking for money in your streams, have a plan. Decide on exactly how you're going to make money with them first. This goes back to your goals, defining how much you'd like to make with your streams, and how this goal fits with your other goals and your larger vision. There are multiple ways to get paid for streams, both directly and indirectly. Directly, obviously, you've got tips, tickets, subscriptions, and other options in different platforms. Indirectly, by selling your music downloads, getting patrons for Patreon, funneling fans to buy physical albums and merch from your website. Depending on your goals, maybe your payment simply comes from an increase in Spotify streams. But get creative. You could do what you could call guerrilla monetization. Think about perks like VIP experiences and contests that will increase engagement and sales. To maximize your sales potential, consider a mix of strategies to have support coming from multiple directions. For example, you could be doing a Facebook live stream where you accept tips, but you mention that they can buy your new album on Bandcamp, and also at some point you can try to upsell them for VIP tickets for an exclusive band hangout after the show. Whatever the mix of revenue streams, be creative and think about engagement. Take advantage of common sales triggers to create an environment for sales during your streams. These powerful psychological tools can help convert viewers into fans and supporters. Anticipation. Use the buildup to get people excited. Scarcity. Fear of loss is one of the most powerful tools at your disposal. Create an offer where fans will miss out if they don't act soon, and that's a powerful incentive. Curiosity. Pique their interests. Just think about how clickbait ads grab your attention and draw you in. And I'm not suggesting that you engage in any kind of deceptive marketing practices, but a good headline goes a long way towards generating sales. Reciprocity, or the feeling of karma. This is the principle that when you give something, others feel compelled to give in return. For example, you can give out your a free download, and people might give you their email address, that kind of thing. Finally, novelty. What is new or different always pulls people in. Now that you have an environment for sales, you need to craft an effective call to action or ask. Ultimately, you've got to go for it and ask for the sale. A lot of artists get tripped up with how to make the call to action that is compelling and as easy as it is to communicate. So here are some tips for writing your call to action. Number one, make it simple. Deal with one objective at a time. Don't confuse the issue with more information and options. Number two, get mini commitments, the easy yeses. These are incremental commitments starting at the first leg to the first tip to repeat purchases. By starting with these mini commitments, you build over time. Number three, cluster information. Make it easy to digest and reference using easy tools like bullet points and outlines to clarify your message and to make your value proposition really shine. And for use social proof. Again, let your superfans do the talking for you. All of this might have been a lot to take in. So what is going to save your butt is systems. And that is why number 7, the final key, is to develop your audience using integrated systems. Systems eliminate overwhelm, make you more efficient, and ultimately more effective. A system, as they say, is how you save yourself time, energy, and money. Systems enable you to control the outcome with processes that are guided by your priorities. Systems allow for accountability and a way to measure your success. And essentially, systems are the processes that help you to achieve your goals. I've got a few things to consider when creating your systems. They should be based on your strategy. Your business and marketing strategy should come before the tactics and implementation. They should be integrated. Systems help all of your business and marketing actions work together, online and off. An example of this is when you get people to sign your mailing list at a show and then follow up with an email newsletter and then target your social ads to the email list. Lead generation. Design systems to attract new viewers to your streams. And conversion. Create systems that turn viewers into supporters. I'm going to focus on the last one, conversion. Your system should work like a fisherman's net cast on the sea. The goal is to capture fans into your net so you can continue to lead them down that road to superfandom. So how do we do this? Designing systems to capture fans means being able to remarket to them. So some examples of that. First, ask fans to follow you on socials. Give them a variety of options so they can pick the platform they prefer to engage with. But at the same time, I recommend focusing on developing your Facebook and Instagram because you are able to build an audience you can remarket to using custom audiences with Facebook ads. For example, you can target people who have engaged with your videos or your page. Also, remind viewers to click on the button on the bottom of the screen to get notified when you go live next. Email lists. Give something in exchange as an incentive, like I mentioned before, such as a free download. Again, you can use custom audiences to remarket to your email list on Facebook ads. Website tracking. Use the Facebook pixel to track visitors to your website so that you can target ads to them as well with custom audiences. And YouTube. Use Google Ads to remarket to the people who have watched your videos or who have similar interests. Be sure for every stream to remember to make your call to action multiple times. And I recommend putting it on the screen using a third-party video app like OBS. So to review, I talked about the importance of goals and vision and how they set the direction for your streams. They are references for the measure of your success. I talked about how understanding your fan base is key to making live streams that resonate with them. Third, I talked about how you want to create live streams that connect viewers to the experience of your brand, to that secret sauce that makes you you. Next, we learned about practical tips for how to communicate your brand story with a live streaming concept that plays to your strengths, interests, and personality. I discussed how your choice of streaming channels impacts reach and how you need an engagement plan to maximize the impact of your streams. And finally, I covered how to turn viewers into supporters and how to create systems that foster the growth of your fan base. So some final thoughts and a word of advice. It's easy to get ambitious, and hopefully you're a little excited to do some of these things and start planning how you're going to grow your fan base. But it does not have to be done at once. By having a plan laid out, you will have concrete direction. So 3 final tips. Be consistent. Viewers being able to count on a schedule, however ambitious or modest, is key to getting them to come back. Take it step by step, just one thing at a time. And be yourself. Viewers and fans are coming to the stream for you. Be confident in that, and you will authentically connect with your viewers. So thank you so much for joining this webinar today. I hope you got a lot out of it and are excited to build your, to begin building your live streaming strategy. I've put my contact info here again in case you'd like to reach out. And I also am very excited to announce that I have just launched my Patreon, where I will be creating webinars like this, but going more in depth into each subject and really explaining the nuts and bolts of them. And I just wanted to let you all know that rewards at different tiers include access to group coaching, individual coaching, and a Facebook group community. My goal with this Patreon is to be able to share the kinds of music marketing education tools that I have with a wider audience in order to empower musicians to do more with what they've got and impact their bottom line. I've literally just launched it. So as a launch bonus for the next 2 weeks, I just want to let you know there's a limited time offer to get a introductory coaching session with the lower rewards tiers. So I invite you to check out the Patreon link there. And perhaps more importantly, you should stop by, and I'm going to be putting this edited version of this video and some notes in there as well. So you can follow along with those notes, and hopefully that will be helpful to you. I'll also be emailing that to you in the next few days. So thank you so much for tuning in, and thanks for the New Music Marketing, the New Music Association, sorry, I always say marketing, for hosting. I really appreciate this opportunity, and I'm really excited to do some questions and answer.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Kara. That was really informative, and I hope everybody enjoyed it. So we have a question here from Ryan. Can you speak more about direct ticket sales through Zoom?
Direct ticket sales through Zoom, you can set that up with third-party apps mostly. Like, you can use things like Eventbrite. You can also use the registering with Zoom for that. I have mostly done, I'm mostly focusing right now on Facebook Live, and we're going to be moving to Twitch. I think that personally, it really depends on your strategy. If you're going to do something that's really high quality, like a Vimeo, that's really somewhere, and especially Vimeo has great tools for integrating ticketing and getting email addresses, capturing those fans. But there's also the opportunities to monetize on platforms like Twitch, where people get subscriptions and you get money for like little bits when people like your material. So there's a lot of different ways to do it, but definitely for the ticketing, I would recommend going with some of those higher quality streams.
Okay, I know that with Zoom, if you're doing a webinar, they give you the option of being able to have people go through PayPal and sign up, and like we did for our last webinar, and you can have people pay for your streaming session that way if you're doing it through a Zoom webinar. I don't know about I think a Zoom regular meeting I don't think would allow that, but I think webinar does. I don't know, do we have any other questions? Let's see, we do. Jesse says, I've been using Restream to stream to Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope simultaneously. The downside is that the free version of Restream only lets you stream to a Facebook personal profile. You've convinced me that I need to be streaming to the band Facebook page. Does anybody know whether Restream is the most affordable way to simulcast to include a Facebook band page? I believe it's $10 to $15 per month. I wonder if anyone likes any other options.
Well, there's also Caster, and you know what? I think Caster is less expensive, but it's CASTR.io, I believe. And they do have a different pricing model, but I do not have that off the top of my head right now. You know, one thing about restreaming that is important to think about now that we're bringing up restreaming is if you're dividing your market. So it's really important when you're picking a restreaming strategy to decide where your market is and where you want them to coalesce, because part of the stream is getting all your fans together, especially now when everybody's, you know, isolated. So restreaming is important and can capture more reach, but it's also, you know, you need to be smart with it and not just be like restream everywhere, you know, which I think a lot of people, you know, kind of like I don't know, I feel like the first 2 weeks of COVID were like the Wild West of live streaming. We're you know, kind of pulling it together. And you know, it's definitely a good thing to do, but you need to make sure it fits your strategy and, you know, going back to your goals.
Yeah. Well, great. Does anybody have any additional questions? Okay, well, I guess at this point, we'll say good night to everybody, and I hope you enjoyed the webinar. And thank you so much, Kara, for your great presentation. And yeah, I encourage you to get a hold of Kara if you want to do any additional work on band branding and music marketing. She can really help you, I'm sure. So and follow her Patreon as well. So and watch what the New Music Alliance is doing. We'll be getting some additional webinars in the near future. We're trying to do as much as we can to help out musicians. So if you have any suggestions for things that you'd like to see us do, please send it to newmusicalliance@gmail.com. And once again, if you'd like to contribute anything as a tip for the webinar or just to the New Music Alliance, please, you can go to our PayPal at newmusicalliance@gmail.com through PayPal and contribute whatever you feel you can. In any case, you take care. Good luck with your streaming and stay safe and be healthy.
Make the most of it, and good luck, and thank you so much. Reach out if you have any individual questions. I'm happy to answer them.
All right, take care and good night.
Bye.